Welcome back to episode 334 of the Guy and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and responsible Christian gun owners' interest. On this week's show, we're talking about pocket pistols.
Pocket pistols.
Pocket pistols. First of all, we want to thank our bandwidth sponsor, Primary Arms. There we go.
There it is.
Primary Arms. Where'd my text go? Primary Arms has got a really cool deal going on they wanted us to tell you about. Expo Arms uppers. They've got 5 configurations. They've got an Expo Arms Patrol series. Comes in 16-inch, 11.5-inch, 11.5-inch with a brake, and 11.5-inch with a flash hider. And they've got the Combat series, and both of those are in 2.5-inch. Also, one with A2 flash hider, and the other one with their proprietary XP1215 KM brake. And the price points on those start at $349, go up to $469 for the one with the brake on them. So they are pretty cool. You can see a picture of one of them here on our screen as we're talking now, if you're live with us on any kind of video platform. So if you've not checked out other things over there on Primary Arms, please do let them know that they heard about you heard about them from us. We appreciate that. Also want to thank Firearms Radio Network. We want to, if you've not checked out their shows over on Firearms Radio Network, please do. They host all of our media over there for you guys to download, all the podcasts for you to download at your convenience, and they have a multitude of other shows. I don't know how many millions upon millions of downloads we've got over through Firearms Radio Network. I remember it passed like 20 million a long time ago. I'm thinking we're probably 100 million. I haven't even looked at the numbers like that. I mean, it's probably been 4 years ago since we talked about how many millions of downloads we've got over there on Firearms Radio Network. All the different shows, but go over and check those other shows out as well. I also want to thank Jake and the guys and gals over at Patriot Patch Co. Patriot Patch supplies all kinds of patches for us. I brought some down, and if I didn't lose them, they're right here. This was the April. Where'd the patch go? Now, how could I have lost a patch in that amount of time? All right, here it is. No, that's not it. Well, I got the sticker. So it's a Mandalorian type Easter bunny and a Mandalorian riding something. You got the patch.
I got that one too.
Yeah. So I guess that was April's patch for Easter. So, and Doug showed you the patch. I got the patch in here somewhere. There it is, underneath all the pocket pistols I brought out here for tonight. All right, so that's how I lost it. If you've not checked out Patriot Patch, go to patriotpatch.co. And you can order stuff over there and tell Jake and the guys and gals over there we appreciate their support. They support us through thick and thin, and it has been really thick for me lately. And Doug's had a little bit of things going on in his life as well. So we appreciate their patience and their support. They sent a check this week, so we appreciate that very much, and we appreciate all of our sponsors as well. This week's
got awesome sponsors.
I know. They're doing really great, man. We just have to keep on praising them because they're doing great. This week's Guiding Gun Activities, Doug, what you been up to?
Let's see. 2 weeks on the God side, Sportsman's Daily Devotional. I did online church last Sunday, and it was Easter Sunday. I didn't catch the sunrise one, but I caught the next one. And let's see, on the gun side, of course, I've been doing my EDC, man. And we're going to talk about this tonight, but I'm in the market for a pocket gun for summertime. So I don't have to carry quite as heavy if I want to put something in your pocket. We'll talk about that a little bit. Just looking for different options. I actually loaned a gun to one of my friends. She is actually signed up for a class with the Warner Robins Police Department here local. They have a ladies only class, no guys. And when I was on city council here, I actually used to attend and, watch the guys teach and stuff. And it's a very good class. And they teach them how to handle a firearm. And then on Saturday, they get to actually go shoot. Tonight, they're doing their class. And they get to learn how the guns function and that kind of thing. So it's pretty good. She wanted to take it, and she's looking for different options for guns. She doesn't know exactly what she wants to get, but she wound up taking Glock 19 with her. I let her borrow it, and it's got the big old student of the gun night vision sights up on the front of it. So I said, you won't have any problem acquiring a target with that sight, I promise you. So she's gonna give it a whirl, see if she likes it, and but they should have a good time. Let's see what else. Hey, I bought some blueberry bushes for the new house. I'm
There
gonna
you go.
plant me some blueberries, and I'm getting ready to put my garden in. So that's cool. Hey, and I'm also closing on my other house next Friday. Finally,
Good.
it'll be done, over, finished.
And you only have one payment again.
I only have one payment again. Exactly. I can go back to buying guns. Two house payments is not fun.
Nope. Did it for a little bit. Learned my lesson.
Well, it actually worked out quite well because, we were able to go ahead and get in this house and take our time moving. And I finally got about everything done. Oh, I did have the VA. I did all the VA stuff that the VA inspector asked to have done 3 weeks ago. My buddy Rick came down. I think we talked about it. He came down and helped me out over a weekend. We got it all knocked out. So we went picture for picture of what the VA guy said needed to be done.
Right.
And I looked at the old picture and I took a new picture and had all those. I sent them to my realtor. Well, the VA guy comes over to do the reinspect the other day, which I've been trying to get him out there for 3 weeks. And
Mm.
apparently the realtors never told him I was ready.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just been sitting there twiddling my thumbs worrying. And anyway, he comes out, we go through everything. Everything's perfect. We go to one spot on the back side of the man shed, and there's an awning on the back because there's a concrete slab poured back. That's where he parked the tractors and
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. Well, my father-in-law made it out of steel I-beams and then put the tin roof and stuff on it and the whole 9 yards. And it's nice. Well, apparently he took a picture of one of the steel beams and said it needed to be sanded and painted. And I did not see that picture. And he meant all of them needed to be sanded, but he took a picture of that one. I never saw the picture. So we discussed it. I said, do you think we need to do these too? Because we were doing some on the other side. I look and I look. I'm like, that's not one of the pictures, man. I mean, if he didn't ask for it, I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. And then sure enough, I didn't have the picture, but he did. And I had to go back and do it again. So the last 2 days, that's what I've been doing is painting I-beams on the back of the shop
Oh gosh.
so he can come back and inspect. So I got a closing day today. So I sent him pictures of everything I did on that and sent them to him. So hopefully he's content with that and we're good. So next Friday, whoo, thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I used to keep up on all the VA requirements. VA and the FHA were pretty close. We had just a couple more requirements in the FHA on things. Usually it had to do with foundations, cross faces, and of course lead base paint. And what was the other thing? Seemed to have to do with roofs and water supply. They were big on that, and they wanted electrical boxes. They had to make sure they had so much spares or something in them. This back in the day. I used to follow them pretty closely because we had a lot of Fort Knox guys, retiring and moving out. So I always would look when I went through the house and say, okay, if it's a VA person that buys it, you're going to have to do this, that, and the other. You might want to go ahead and start doing that, because the likelihood is about 30% of the people are going to be VA buyers in that area. And sure enough, we had one. We had to get a water supply, and they had a cistern. And I would have never thought a cistern would have qualified under a VA, but got a water sample, and they said, "Oh yeah, it's good. You just got to put so much bleach in it every so often, and because of runoff birds and stuff, and to make sure you kill any kind of bird-borne kind of stuff." But it qualified. I thought for sure it was going to not go through, but
Yeah, the VA, they still check that. I had to have a water sample done of my well
Hmm.
water for the VA. So, and that came back. It was all fine. No
Yeah.
problem.
Well, it's never usually were a problem unless it's a real shallow well or something. You have, runoff water getting into your supply. But this was a cistern. I would never thought the cistern would never qualify. Oh yeah, as long as the water quality's okay. Like, okay.
Hmm,
I mean, back in the day, there was lots of houses that had just cisterns. The
right.
gutters ran into a big concrete holding thing or a barrel beside the house, and they pumped it out of that. All right. Well, that was your stuff. Let's
It was.
see my stuff. I had a good Easter service. We went to South Fork Sunday, the
Did
whole
you?
family. Well, with the exception of Tim and his family, they go to Parkway. But my other three children and I and my wife went, saw a lot of familiar faces. I actually saw Taylor Durham. I
Did you?
haven't seen Taylor in 30 years. And because they've been attending, they moved to a Nazareth church over near Mount Sherman back when we were just out of high school.
Right.
But he was there with his daughter. Of course, Stumpy is a deacon there, so got to see all the old guys that I used to be deacons with a long time ago, and not that long ago. But I don't know, so I felt like a visitor. Didn't feel like home because there's so many new people there.
Right.
Probably half the church is new since we've been gone. We've only been gone. Well, I've been gone 10 years, I guess. 11 years, I guess. Oh, 12 years, I guess. We got 12 years. It only don't seem like it's been that long. But half the church knew who we were. The other half was like, "Who are these weirdos?" But it was good. I had a good sermon, and it was good to catch up with some people, especially Taylor. I didn't even know he was still alive. I hadn't seen him forever. He don't live a mile from me across the hill. Let's see where we got here.
I know I've done a lot of fishing in his ponds over the years.
Oh yeah, he's on the backside of Buddy over there, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I almost bought a Shadow Systems XR920 Tuesday. I was down in Bowling Green, took my daughter down there for she's doing I don't know, a homeschool group, and they're doing they're focused on writing. So like a intensive creative writing class, and so they had an all day writing class. So I was looking for things to do, and I hit several of the gun shops down there in Bowling Green. Wife got the van worked on while we were down there. I went in and looked at that Shadow Systems. I'd seen the full size. I forget which one it is, but it's like a 1911 Glock, but it's all molded to your hand and undercut, and man, it feels good in your hand. Well, the XR 920 is like the 19X. It's like a full size grip, but a short 19 slide.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I like the way that felt in my hand. I like the way it pointed, liked everything about it. And that was a great price. I mean, it was 10% over what they pay for it. That's pretty much the way they sell it down there.
Really?
And I didn't have cash on me to buy it at the time, as it's like a 3% upcharge for credit card. So I was like, nah, I had cash on me. I might have bought it, but I got to be back down there again next Tuesday. So I might end up getting it before it's over with.
Make sure you have cash.
Yeah. Went to ham luncheon on Tuesday on the ham side. Participated in a few nets this last week. Excuse me. Updated my, well, that was the previous one. Updated my hotspot Pi Star. Let's see. I did get in so I got a Polaris Ranger. I may have told you guys, I think I told you guys about that last time,
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks back. But I bought, so it's got a plastic roof on it, right? And so you don't have a ground plane. So I picked up one of these Tram, um, they call it a base ground plane kit. And it's got radials that go out, and it's got a steel bracket, and I can mount that on the back of the frame of the Ranger, and then I can put my antenna mounts on top of this. I don't know if you guys can see. So this is the antenna mount here. These little rods are radials, and they go into the base of it, and they create a ground plane for that the antenna to have something to reflect off of. Because whenever you have an antenna, you need a big piece of steel, or you need radials, which are pieces of wire run out so that it reflects that signal and sends it out into the air. If you don't have that, you don't have a very good ground, or what they call a ground plane, and so your signals don't really propagate in the right direction. And so I looked around, and I thought, well, I could just put a piece of steel plate up there, but I'm like, get rusty, and I have to paint it, and then it'll always be a big mess and some additional weight up there. And so I'm gonna try this out and see how well it does. I don't think it will work as well with the Bill Maher. Howdy, Bill Maher.
Evening.
So I'm gonna try that out on the Ranger, and I'm looking at radios, ham radios, mobile radios for the Ranger that can take a little bit of moisture. Uh, I know that's not good for a lot. Maybe you have to go with a marine radio that has the ham bands in it. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the option is. Maybe some of you ham guys out there know better for me what's the best. Let's see. The new Primary Arms upper came in
Oh yeah.
right after I talked about those last week. They sent me one. It came in the next morning in the mail, and the wife was about ready to jump me, saying, "Why did you buy us another gun part? You've got 20 of those." And I'm like, "I don't have 20. I've only got like 8." But uh, she said, "You got a bunch of those." I was like, "I didn't buy it. I swear." She said, "Uh huh." I said, "No, seriously. They sent it for a T&E." And she goes, "Uh huh." I don't know if she still believes me yet or not, but that's what happened. So we had a storm go through since the last time we spoke. We had, I think it was a tornado. It was classified as a tornado. It went right across the farm, right across the middle of our farm.
Mm.
It twisted out over at my son's house, my oldest son's. It twisted off 2 trees about halfway up, just twisted them and broke them off and laid them down. And one it just pushed down and it hit the house and sheared all of the fly rafters off the south end of the house and tore up the roof on that side and gutters and all that stuff. They were his wife and my grandchildren were home at the time. We told them to come over because the storm was supposed to be pretty bad, and they called off the tornado warning right before they came, and then they reissued it right after she got in the shower. So it it hit, and everybody was okay. It didn't tear up anything but the house and chicken coop. One chicken got my son loves all these different roosters and stuff, and so he's got barrels out there in the backyard. These roosters like can get on top of or go inside of, and the tree fell and hit one of the barrels, flipped it upside down, so the rooster was hanging upside down by his little leg lanyard thing.
Oh
When we
no.
got there, I was able to get him. He was unharmed. He just flipped upside down. That was the only thing that about got hurt. It mashed the chicken fence down, but they were all up for the night, so they weren't able to get out. But was able to go over there and cut that tree up. I was took the tractor in the middle of the storm, or after. Well, the storm was still going on, but the tornado part of it was gone. My Gunner, my youngest son, and I went over there. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Saw it was too much to try to handle. The way the tree was, we was afraid it'd fall on us or crush the side of the house. So I went and got the tractor and it had a bucket on it, so I had to take the bucket off in the rainstorm, lightning and all that stuff. Took the bucket off, put the forks on the tractor, then went over there and lifted the tree off of the end of the house, and it broke in 2 pieces. One part fell on the back of the house, one part fell in the front of the house. We got the light end off first, and then we were able to get off the other end off the back of the house and got it laid down the ground, and it kept lighting. So I told my son we just have to work on it the next morning. We went over the next morning, cut it up, and got it all manageable size pieces, and got it out of there. Then it came. That same storm went over our house and took off about, I don't know, probably 15% of our shingles, ripped them off and pulled off on the front and the back of the house. And then there's about 14 other trees on the farm that just either twisted them off halfway up the tree and broke them out, or it just laid them over.
Mm.
No other structures suffered any damage, so we were fortunate in that, and no one got hurt. So that was fortunate as well. I sit there and watched the wall cloud coming on the back porch until it got within about half a mile, and I went down the basement. By the time I got to the basement, it hit, and it's like a truck ran into the side of the house. It's just like straight line winds, and then it had a twister in the middle of it, I guess. But I don't
Mm.
think it actually hit the ground. I think it was just floating half of the tree height in the air, just twisting them off, or just enough that it was grabbing the tops of those trees and snapping them off. It's weird how it just snapped them right in the middle of the tree.
It's
I don't
crazy,
know if
isn't
you've
it?
ever seen that, but that's the way it was. The trunks are still sitting there, and other trees around it are sitting there. But that, just certain ones, it would twist them and snap them. And so I had two in the backyard I had to cut up before I could mow yesterday. And so,
I
but
thought you I thought you said you got the tractor out. I thought you was going to say something about putting Krista in the bucket again.
well, I would have, but she learned the lesson after the first time. And Canadians don't like that now.
Eh.
Hey, eh. But yeah, that was pretty much it. We've been working on all kinds of stuff here on the farm, mostly cutting up trees and stuff from the damage in the rental house. We've been working on just putting the floor in it. Got a renter actually moving in while we're still working on it. So that's been my fun stuff. Let's see, EDC check tonight. I'm carrying the Glock 30S and the Super Tech Deluxe as usual, and I've got about four other guns laying here. We're going to talk about here in a minute. What you got?
I would say a Glock 19, but I don't. So I
Oh,
actually carried the 21 today and had it with me, but it's in there laying on the end table from where I came in here. I grabbed a bite to eat and rushed and forgot to bring it in here with me.
Daryl's on here with us.
He is.
Good to hear you on here, buddy. Daryl has been through the ringer. For you guys that follow our Facebook page and prayer, he has had a tremendous lot of problems. His father passed away. His mother's been near death a lot. He's been near death with COVID, and he's been in and out of the hospital with his lungs due to COVID issues and tubes and all that stuff. So keep Daryl in your prayers, guys. He is a tough man. He has hung in through there. I was glad he was able to go to his father's funeral, but then he had to go right back in the hospital. He's had multiple surgeries, and if you guys are able, there is a GoFundMe page to help him with all these medical expenses, which are just astronomical. But we are glad you're with us, Daryl, and
Mm-hmm.
you are welcome. Wow, let's see. Joke. You guys a joke?
I got a couple jokes today.
Oh,
Uh,
blonde joke.
I know we had to
This
revert
is not
back.
blonde anymore. Her
She's not.
COVID hair has been an issue. If you all don't know, COVID affects some people, especially persons with long-term COVID, causes their hair to fall out. And so when her hair came back in, it was a new color. And so she hasn't messed with it, and I don't blame her. Since it's come growing back in, we're all happy.
Good. Let's see. So I got two blonde jokes actually. So the first one, two blonde women were going to Disneyland by car. One of them saw a sign that said Disneyland, left. Disappointed, they turned around and went home.
It might be going to happen in Florida, the way it sounds.
Ron DeSantis may say Disneyland
He's
left.
going to spank them all the way out there. But that's Disney World. Disneyland's out there where Daryl's at. Disney
Yeah.
World's in Florida.
Did you? Well, you saw they got them today, right?
Got whom?
Disney World.
I heard that he was going to yank their special tax status or something that way.
Hey, the Senate and the House in Florida both voted to repeal it.
Good deal.
So they get them, boys. Let's see. Second joke. A blonde and a brunette were having breakfast at a cafe. The blonde's phone rang a few times. The brunette asked, "Why aren't you answering your phone?" Blonde replied, "It's not for me. I haven't told anybody I'm here."
Bad. Those are new. I have to say, you did
They
find
are
some new
new.
joke.
They
You found
are.
some new jokes. I am very, very proud of you. All right. On this day in history, what you got for us?
Hey, this day in history, in 1934, the Daily Mail printed a photograph that reportedly depicted a small head and neck of the Loch Ness Monster. The iconic image, widely known as the surgeon's photo, sparked an international sensation but was later revealed to be a hoax.
I can't believe anybody would hoax such a thing.
Been a long time, ain't it?
I think I've seen the model of that thing somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, today's Bible verse comes to us from Isaiah 53:5. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. So that applies to you, Daryl. By Jesus' wounds we are healed.
Yep.
Applies to all of us, actually. I prayed that prayer. But, healing comes from God. The doctors can only do what they can do. But at the end of the day, if God wants you to be healed, you'll be healed. If God doesn't want you to be healed and wants to bring you home to glory, then you're going home to glory, or you're going on to eternal damnation. But you gotta realize every breath that you take every day of your life is a gift of God. And as soon as you forget that, uh, bad things could occur.
You know, I have to say this about Daryl. Because I've talked to Daryl on the phone a few times since he's been in the hospital, checking on him, and just
Hmm.
want to see how he's doing. And I see him on, he posts on Facebook and different things. But sometimes I believe God allows things to happen to you
Yep.
to put you in the path of somebody else that needs to hear something. And I know Daryl, and I know his testimony. And if he's got a roommate, which he does most of the time in the hospital he's at, he's telling about God every time without fail. And sometimes, I used to teach kids and stuff in Awana and stuff. Yeah, you never know who God's going to put in front of you, and for you to be a testament. And if it took maybe Daryl being where he's at right now to do that, yeah, who are we to say?
Yep. God has used health issues for me to get me to repentance on several occasions and to remind me of who is God and who I am.
Hmm.
And I apparently am a hard listener because sometimes it takes God several times to smack me around. Uh, One thing about it, when my parents both died within such a short time period, the thing that allowed me to be able to deal with that was to know where they went, to know they're not suffering because I've been taking them to the hospital and doctors for the last 8 years.
Yep.
They know the kind of pain and suffering that they've had, and to know the kind of life they were living. Um, there is a point in time when we welcome death, and I'm not saying my parents were there. I'm just saying that God knows better than we what's best for us and what's best for our families and what's best for everything going on. And we just have to accept that God gives and God takes away. It's um, we are only gifted a certain period of time with anyone. So if you love those around you, make sure they know it and they know you love them, that you express that to them because it's very important. You don't always get that chance, and so make sure that you're first of all, if they're not saved, share the salvation with them. The gift of salvation is free, but it costs you everything. It costs you your desires, your wills, your wants, but you get eternal life. You get to turn all your burdens over to God. You get to uh, let everything be in His hands, and that is such a relief. That's such a relief to relief that burden that we try to carry around ourselves, uh, that we're not capable of paying for our sin debt. I'm reading Demons by Michael S. Heisner, Dr. Michael S. Heisner. It He wrote Unseen Realm, which I've recommended before, and he wrote it's like a shorter version of Unseen Realm, spirituals. I can't remember. But you just look up Michael S. Heisner. Everything he's wrote is really good. He actually, you can find him on YouTube and Facebook too. I think he has regular speeches stuff. But that book is very good at explaining the Old Testament to those of us who don't understand all the parts of the Old Testament and where the connotation comes from. Very, very, very meaty. I mean, it's deep theology, but he does it in a way that a layman like me can understand. So I suggest that if you've not read that, we've had some other people ask me what books I was referring to the last show. We had Greg Hopkins on. His book's like Time to Kill, The Myth of Christian Pacifism. And I think I referenced a Bible study that I was doing back. I think it ended a couple weeks ago. Stepping Up by Gaines. I can't remember what his first name is. Oh well. But if you want to know about that, just go back a couple episodes and you can hear it.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Anything else that you wanted to talk about before we hit the main topic?
No. We got a bunch of folks over on YouTube with us tonight too.
Good deal. Oh yeah. So I'm trying to monitor 3 different windows here. Hopefully, we have. It looks like. So hopefully, yeah, we're on here. Good deal. So we're on Rumble Live, we're on Facebook Live on 3 different platforms. We're on YouTube. So we're running about 8 different places. I've got them on all of our social media links. So hopefully everything's running well. I'm going to shut this one off because if I don't, it's going to drain on my battery power. Not battery, my bandwidth. I can't have too many streams on this one computer because it overruns my. You know about computers, Doug. You tell them what's doing. It slows my system down and starts digitizing stuff and robotic voices and stuff.
Gonna shut you down.
Shut me down. Main topic tonight: pocket guns, and this is a topic that Doug has wanted to talk about. So we'll let Doug take the floor.
Well, you got all the examples sitting over there, so.
Oh, you got guns?
Well, I don't got a good pocket gun though.
Oh,
So
here's one good pocket gun I like.
That is one.
SP 101 XL, I think it is, which is the spurless. And I've got an aftermarket grip. This is a Crimson Trace laser grip. And so it's a great little pocket gun. I use a DeSantis. There's a little laser in there. But it's a good pull out of your pants summer gun. It's a little bit weighty. I mean, it's probably 26 ounces. I don't know what the official weight is, 24, 26 ounces. It's about like a small, medium-sized Glock weight-wise, but it's all steel, stainless steel. You don't have to worry about rust and corrosion and all that stuff. Good little pocket gun.
So I stopped in one of my sporting goods places the other day looking at some pocket guns. And I have a what is it? When I have a Sky 9mm, which I've done. There you go.
XDS.
XDS. Is that a 9 or 45?
45 ACP. It's only 6 rounds though. 5 in the mag, 1 in the chamber.
Right.
But you talking about a thin gun that disappears in your hand. I mean, my whole hand practically can cover that up if I don't drop it on my toe here or something. But it is a very small, but it's a 45 ACP striker fire pistol. That's another one. I've got a pajama holsters pocket holster, so it drops right down your pocket. It sits in there and it's ready for you to grab, and it covers up the trigger guard. So go ahead. I keep interrupting you.
No. Keep showing. That's a good one. But I was at the.
Here's my grandmother's.
What is it?
It's an old Raven Arms.
Raven.
25 ACP. Nickel plated pearl handles. Boy, this was her pride and joy. It's empty. showing you magazines out.
The little pearl.
Little pearl. She kept that in her purse. She sat there 15 feet from Jimmy Carter back in 1970 something other. And she was the local press for the Hart County News, and she went up to Lexington. He came into town for something, and she went in there with a press corps and had that little gun in her pocket. What else I got? I had another one here somewhere. What did I do with it? Yeah, go ahead. There it is.
I have a couple little snub nose 38s. What is that?
That's a Beretta Tomcat.
Tomcat.
Yeah, I put some aftermarket Coco Bolo grips on it.
Is that a 32? What is that?
Yeah, it's a 32 ACP.
32.
That's pretty much considered a mouse gun. It's between a mouse and a pocket gun. I got a pocket holster for it. This is a 25 ACP. That's definitely a face gun or mouse gun. But the reason I like these little Berettas, I got one for my grandmother because you tip up barrel. So if you can't pull that slide, you can put the first round in there and stick the magazine in it, and it's a double action, single action. After the first round, single action. It's got a hammer, got a safety on it, but it's empty too. No bullets.
That's a nice little gun.
Yeah, I got one for my daughter. I got one for my grandmother. Of course, she since passed, and so it came back to me. But that's a really concealable little gun. You can drop that in your pocket with a little pocket holster, and it's like a sea camp size. If you guys are familiar with the old sea camps.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done showing my toys.
Oh, you got more than that.
That's all I brought out here tonight. I gotta go.
That's all I brought out.
I gotta go oil them up and put them back in the safe. I got a bunch of little bitty ones my grandmother passed on to me. I got one of Mom's little airweight Smith and Wessons.
I have a little Bond Arms
Oh, I got one.
22 Magnum, but it's only 2 rounds,
Yeah.
and it is so small in my hand that it's almost hard to hold it to pull the trigger to shoot somebody.
Mine's a 357 Magnum.
Well, that's bigger than mine, obviously.
It's a
Mine-
Texas. It's a
This
Texas.
was like this
arm.
big.
No, it's
I mean,
Bond Arms. Yeah.
Mine's tiny. It's a little bitty thing. But yeah, something that you can get your hand on a little bit. A buddy of mine carried the Bond Arm. He had a 44 Magnum in it, and we shot it at the range one day. It's a little handful, but it was manageable. I mean, they're kind of a little heavy.
Most of the powder gets thrown out in front of you.
Right. Exactly.
When you get that big, that's the only 357 Magnum. I mean, you're probably getting the power of a 32 out of it because most of your powder is burning up outside the barrel.
Dwayne commented on Facebook, said his pocket gun is a Ruger EC9. Disappears in the pocket, no printing.
Yeah, that's sort of like this one, the XDS. It looks like a wallet or something, like a cell phone or a wallet in your pocket. It's so thin for a 45. It's the same actual diameter dimensions as the 9mm XDS.
Right.
And it's identical. It's just the barrel's the only difference.
The 9mm, you got more rounds though, right?
One more? It's not much more. It's
One
like
more?
7 rounds instead of 6. I tell you, for a pocket gun, I like a revolver. I mean, for a pocket gun. Now, if you're talking about an ultra concealable gun, like what you're talking about, wanting to get that 365,
Yes.
that's a nice little gun. I couldn't believe how small that thing was. I saw one at the gun store Tuesday when I was looking at the other stuff. I was like, "There's 12 rounds in this thing." He goes, "Yep."
Exactly.
Yep.
So I was checking that out the other day, and that's the SIG 365.
Mhm.
Is it the XL that has the 12 rounds?
I think that's the regular. Let's see.
The regular one's got 10. I know the regular one's got 10 plus 1. And it's got just a little bit. It's almost like the XDS that's got on the bottom of your mag. It's got just a little bit of a curve to it where you get your pinky finger on it.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm going to have to figure out if I carry it in my pocket like that. I'm going to have to figure out another place to put my keys and stuff because I carry my keys on my right side.
So you actually want to drop in your pocket kind of a gun?
Yes. Yes.
I never thought about one of those for dropping the bike. So you were looking at the micro then. You're not looking at the. So the micro is a 10 rounder. The regular XDS, the regular 365 is a 12 rounder, I think.
Yeah, I
Uh,
want the smaller one.
yeah. And then there's the X, which is the longer grip, and that one's the 12 round. Okay, yeah. So the X's
Correct.
are like the difference between the 19X and the 19, as far as it's just a little bit longer grip, like what I was talking about with Shadow Systems. You get a
Steve's con-
little fuller grip. Go ahead.
Steve Stone is over on YouTube chat with me. He said the P365 is his everyday carry.
Yeah, those disappear in those Micro Tuck Deluxe yeah, Micro Tuck holsters. Those disappear just like the XDS, but you got a lot more rounds.
He says he's got a red dot on it.
Yeah, they've got the was it the RXZ? I think comes with a red dot.
You know, they come with a night. They come ready with night sights in them.
Yeah,
And I was messing around with that 10 round, the 10+1, and I dropped that thing in my pocket, and it didn't print. You couldn't see it. Nothing. I mean, it was. Ooh, that's pretty. That's
that's
nice.
the one Steve's talking about. I guess it's got the
Hmm.
red dot. Yeah,
That's a nice little gun. And you can get the extended mag for it too. I think it gives you what, one or two more if you put the extended mag
I'm
on it.
not for sure. See, here's a micro compact. It's got the little. That's the basic one right there.
Yeah, they also make it, which I didn't particularly care for it, but they make one that has the sights are actually hidden in the slide. But I wasn't real crazy about that one.
Yeah.
That's they said it was for like deep cover or whatever. So I guess if you draw it, it doesn't.
Huh.
The front post doesn't hang inside your pocket or
There's
whatever. But
this SAS one here, I guess.
yep,
Yeah.
that's it right there. Yep.
Yeah. See it very well there. Huh. That's sort of like my rigger. It's got the groove type sight in it. I've got a Trigicon front sight with tritium in it for the front post sight, and then it's got just a groove up here in the top. Let me make that out or not. So it's a low profile, low drag. So that's, I mean, it's made for a pocket holster, so it don't snag on anything. So you got the spur gun, your sights are really smooth and radiused, and it's just a everywhere on it's just radiused off. So there's nothing to snag at all on it, and that's a true pocket gun. I mean, when you pull it up there, but you got 5 rounds, you got to make them count.
That's
But
pretty heavy too, though, isn't it?
well, I mean, you don't drop my pants or anything like that. But it just tucks away. I've got a DeSantis Nemesis pocket holster, and it's like a cloth feel on it. So the whole thing just really blends right into your clothing. You don't even see it. But weight's relative to the person. So for me, it's not that hard to conceal. But I can like you, I can conceal a 21 Glock 21. It's just a matter of what kind of
Mhm.
clothing you choose. But you couldn't put it in your pocket. Yeah, there's that sight picture on there. You can see
Yeah,
it.
isn't that weird? I mean, that front I still a night sight, but
Yeah,
it's inside the slide, so it's kind of weird.
yeah, I see what you're saying. It's unique.
It is unique, but it just when you pull up on it, it's I don't know. It's just to me it seemed a little awkward. I guess if you shot it, you would get used to it, but
Yeah. Well, anything you train with it, you figure out how to do it. But if I've got to where I really like the red dots. I'm thinking about going back to the red dot with that Shadow Systems 19X version, or is it the X? Where it was, I said it was.
the X.
I forgot what I was talking about.
I've
I got
had
too many windows open here.
Glock 26s before, and I don't know. They didn't feel right in my hand. Plus, they're a little thicker because they're still, you know, it's still double stack. You could go with a 43, but to me, the single stack's just a little bit too thin. That's what I liked about That's what I liked about that Sig. It's they say it's a double stack, but it's not a true double stack. But you still get 10 rounds in that little bitty mag on it.
Huh. There we go. Get more of the vision there.
That's her. Look at that.
That's what Steve carries, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Hello, Billy. Missouri native.
He's in
He,
Alabama.
no, Billy's in Missouri.
No, he said he's checking in from Alabama tonight.
Oh, what's he doing in Alabama?
I don't know.
I got a calendar event. Oh, net's getting ready to start. Cool deal. I don't know what to. So it's a titanium nitride frame. This will be upgrades or something. Some kind of special number. I guess you can build
On
some
the
kind of special FCU micro compact pistol. I don't know what that is. I was trying to figure it looked like a sub gun or something there when I first looked at it and zoomed in on it. It's part of the pistol, I guess. Huh.
Go back up one more.
Back up here.
Yeah, that right there.
This
no,
one.
that's the SAS. Sorry.
You want the regular one?
Yeah, in a 9mm.
Well, they got the 380. So you want
Yeah,
this?
I got a little 380, but
I think this is the Nitron. Maybe that's
that's it
not
right there. That's it.
the
That was
Nitron.
it. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Very light, hides easy. I dropped it in my pocket. You couldn't see it. I would probably, and I want it without a safety on it. I don't want a safety selector switch on it. I just want it, like a Glock.
If you used to Glock, the safety's in your brain.
Yep.
But you want to make sure you got you a holster that covers up that trigger guard in case you drop your keys in your pocket.
Yep.
That way, if you drop something in there, it don't get in here and cause it to go bang when you don't want it to.
Yep.
Now, the only thing about the XDS is you got the grip safety, whereas on the Glocks you don't. But other than that, it's about the. I think it's about the same size, if I remember right, the feel of it. But I mean, it's a wider grip, of course, to hold 10 rounds as opposed to 7 or 8 on the XDS.
Yeah, it's probably about the same. The same. Actually, it's a lot smaller than That's actually about the same size as a Glock 43.
Yeah. My only caveat for anybody about the XDS, and just because I've had one, it takes a lot of grip strength. My dad never could have pulled that.
It does.
You got to have really good grip strength of your fingers and to hold it because it don't have but 2 fingers or 1 or 2 fingers on here to get that grip. So those bigger calibers that have heavier springs on them, you got to make sure you're able to actually. Because I sometimes have a hard time getting it because it's such a short stroke for the 45. There's not much tolerance there. If you don't slingshot that pretty good whack on it, it won't chamber right. It'll get hung up.
Yep.
I don't know how the springs are on the 365. I didn't play with it a lot. I looked at it, but I have the same problem with it I have with the 43. That's a little single stack Glock in it. 43.
Mm-hmm.
Madars. I went and shot that down to Asheville when they came out with it. They invited a bunch of us social media guys to go down to Nashville to the Armory and try that thing out. And that thing would just walk around in my hand because I don't know, I couldn't grip it right. I couldn't get a good grip on it. It's so thin, it just walked around my hand. Of course, the snappiness. I don't know how to explain. If you've shot a lot of guns, the 45 it's a slower firing round. The recoil is not so snappy. The 9mm, especially when you get these little micro guns, it is snappy. That thing whips around. It would whip around my hand. I would sandwich it, try to get as close together as I could. But when you got big, fat, wide palms like that, it's hard to get it wrapped around something that small. So I need a little bit more width in there, or it just walks in my hand. I was just having a hard time controlling the thing. And
Yeah, I've shot.
usually it's not a problem with the XDS. I can hold it fine, but it was so narrow, so short, and it was just too much to try to hold on to. Too
I've shot
little.
the 43, and I'm like you. It wants to move around in my hand,
Yeah.
you know. But I've shot the 365, and it doesn't do that. I got a buddy of mine that's actually he's trying to sell me a Springfield XDE in
Mhm.
9 millimeter with a hammer on it, and I just don't know if I would like the hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it. I carry that. My brain's dying tonight. The what in the world? The STI Staccato with a hammer. I didn't have a problem at all. Once I got used to thumb safety, you just got to train yourself, man. It's just a matter of shooting. But I've decided to go back to more rounds. And I really like that Shadow Systems. I don't know. It's just like a cheaper version of some of these customized Glocks. With all the stippling and the upgraded barrel, upgraded trigger, upgraded spring package, and all that stuff. It's just a custom gun for $800. Then you can it's got ready for a red dot, so I can throw my Trijicon right on top there and go back to work. Yeah, I don't know. And it fits all my Glock 19, Glock 30s holsters. So,
Hmm.
and it's just I don't know. I just like the way it feels. I haven't got to shoot it yet. Uh, I would like to get a chance to shoot it, but it's gonna be a Glock. I mean, a Glock's a Glock, a Glock. I mean, you can have nicer triggers and stuff, but it's gonna shoot like a Glock. So
See, that's the other one too. That 30 SF. I thought about getting one of those
yeah,
because you can hide that pretty easily in a pocket too.
yeah. I mean, that's my carry gun. 30.
Is it
You
the
talking
S or
about?
the which one is that?
It's a 30s, which is
S.
the short. It's a short frame. It's a SF is the nomenclature for a short frame. It's shorter front to back in the grip. That's a 45. Now probably thinking about you're probably thinking about a different gun, 26 or the. I've got a 26. It's a pocket gun. I didn't bring it
26 is
down. 26
26 is
is
a 9.
it's 11 round 9 millimeter double stack,
They what your 30S, is that a single stack or double stack?
double stack. It's 11 rounds 45. 10
What's
plus one.
what's the 45 in that same size that's single stack?
It's the
I thought it was the SF.
no SF is a short frame. That's the shorter grip. It's a 20. What is that thing? 36. I think it's a 36. Block 36 is a single stack 45. I think because I think
36.
the Glock 36 slide is the Glock 36 slide is the Glock is what's on the 30s.
Yeah, it's a 36.
Yeah. So the 30s is a 36 slide on top of a Glock 30 lower with a SF frame. So it's a shorter
Yes.
Glock 30 frame with a 36 slide, which is slimmer than the Glock 30 itself. It is.
So it could be potentially a good gun to carry.
Yeah, it's a small gun, but you only got 6 rounds or something.
Right.
I mean, you're back to the but the XDS is smaller in the 45. If you're going to go with the 45 pocket gun, the XDS is a better choice, I think. Unless you just like Glocks, and you know,
I do like Glocks.
I mean, I like Glocks, but if as far as something really compact, I think that's probably looking for the thing. Can't find the thing, Doug. The thing.
I'm not a keen fan of the 43. I'm just not. It's almost too thin.
Yeah,
And like we were talking about a while ago, it wants to get out of my hand. It wants to turn when you pull the trigger.
there's a Glock 36,
Yep.
and you can 6 rounds and 45. The weight is 22 ounces. I mean, it's only 2 ounces more for the 30S, and you got almost twice the rounds. And you can pocket carry it, but I mean, it's a chunk. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's beefy.
especially put light on it or something. But as far as capacity, I mean, you put the rounds in, it's going to weigh a little bit more. But it's the same overall dimensions as that, except for the width. I mean, I think the 30S is a 1.3 something. Let's see if I can find it. Click on there. 45.
I've had several of the XDSs over the years, and I always liked them. I never had one in a 9mm though.
So here's a 30S. That's one. That's mine. And let's see what the weight is. Oh no, it's a lot more. It's 30 ounces. So it's 6 ounces, 7 ounces, and change heavier than the 36.
Hmm.
That's with a loaded magazine. Without a magazine, it's almost the same weight. So those extra 6 rounds or 5 or 6 rounds makes the difference.
And that's in 45.
Yeah, 45. Yep, yep, yep.
What's
I
what,
I
what was
found
the,
a. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what's the weight on that Sig? I don't think it. I don't think it was much.
Let's see here. 6 hour weight. 17 ounces. Ooh, 17.8 ounces.
So she's light.
That's without being loaded. Yeah, that's a small one. Yep, micro compact. Yeah, probably be a better deal if you was going pocket carry. You get the extended magazine, put in if you want to. It'd print a little bit more though.
It would.
Not a lot, but I guess it depends on how big your pockets are and what kind of holster you put in.
I was thinking, you you remember? I think they still make them the sticky holsters.
I've never messed with them. I just thought they were sort of gimmicky. But
They actually work good. You can put it in your pocket and it stays in there when you pull it. It won't come out. Or you can actually tuck it in your waistband and it won't move around.
hmm, with a belly band or a modular holster, what kind is it?
No, it's just a it's just a little cloth like holster, but it's tacky on the outside of it.
Hmm.
It's a sticky holster.
Oh, okay, it's like the Nemesis then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And lo and behold, they actually make it for a 365.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine it's probably one of
Imagine, imagine that.
probably one of the popular ones for pocket carry. Okay, there it is. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's see if I can share that one there. Yeah, we're not endorsing. I'm not
No,
endorsing because I've never
no.
had one, but just taking a look at it. Optics ready, sticky holsters. That sort of looks like the little holster I had here.
That's different than.
That's a comfort pad one. But I tell you what, man, they ain't much better than that micro tuck. Uh,
Oh no.
I'm serious. That thing is. Get my mouse to go over and click. You talking about? That's an XDS and micro tuck. That is the most concealable rig I've ever carried. I mean, you just did. I carried that thing at work. I laid on the ground and the shop floors and crawl up underneath conveyors and measure stuff,
Where's your
roll
clipboard?
around it. I took them off to put it on another one
Oh,
because I don't carry this anymore, and I needed some. I had wore out some clips, and I asked them to send me some. I was in a rush, so I went and took these off.
So
I've got some.
that would be perfect if you were carrying inside the waistband.
Yeah,
But
but for
you
pocket,
know,
yeah,
like some places, I just want to be able to put it down in my pocket. Of course, with that holster, you can't. If you're going to carry it on your side,
yeah,
oh, absolutely, crossbreed, no choice. There
yeah.
you go. That's one of them.
That's the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Nemesis holsters are sort of the same way. It's the same kind of pattern that I carry the Ruger in. I carry Ruger in the Nemesis, and I've got a Nemesis for my Glock 26, which actually has a spare magazine and drops into a cargo pocket. So for the Glock
Hmm.
26 is the 11 round, 10 plus one Glock double stack 9 millimeter. I would consider it a pocket gun. It's 11 rounds, but it's a little chunk, and you ain't gonna get that pinky finger on there.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on your hands. If you got small hands, yeah, you can get your pinky finger. For someone with big palms and big fingers, it just doesn't work too well. But I mean, you don't really need it. There's enough there to grab a hold of. I can shoot the thing one handed. It's not a big deal.
No.
Well, if you're going to leave the Glock family and looking at Sig, I never liked Sigs. I mean, I've tried Sigs and HKs. The way their palm swells are, they don't fit my hand. I've tried and tried and tried. Well, the closest thing I come to buying a Sig was a Sig Spartan, which was a 1911. It don't have the European hand style or the weird decocker and all that garbage with the European guns. But well, we've rambled on quite a bit. We're going to need to wrap this show up. People are going to bed.
Yeah. Anyway, hey,
Thank you,
if
thank
you
you
got
guys for
ideas,
enduring our long rants and wandering squirrel chases. All right, we
that's
talked about
good.
pocket guns.
That's good conversation though.
Yep,
A
yep.
lot
Look at
we stirred up quite the conversations on some of them though.
there. Yeah,
Jim Ross commented. He said his pocket carry is a Smith and Wesson 340 Super Light.
cool. It's what is that? I never heard of it. The revolver.
I think it's a revolver, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't paid a lot of attention to Smith and Wesson ever since they hung out with and Bill Clinton was using them to try to back gun control and start that M&P garbage. I bought one for my wife. The whatever it is, the Shield. Not the Shield, is it?
The Shield, yeah.
That's the Shield, the 9 millimeter compact.
Just it's a 357 Magnum revolver. I got it pulled up over here. It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a
yeah,
revolver.
yeah. Yeah.
I bet
I
being
like
a
Smith and Wesson revolvers. I mean, my first gun I ever had when I was 12 years old was a Smith and Wesson Model 19 Combat Magnum. I loved that gun. I shot a lot of that gun. I shot so much that I bought myself a reloader, a Lee hand reloader, and reloaded with it.
I bet being a super light, it's got a little bit of oomph behind it.
Yeah, but you got enough grip, you can hold on to it. You can hang on to it. It's not.
I have a
But
Smith and Wesson
revolvers.
too.
Yeah, you got
I
big
got a
ones.
Smith. I got a Smith and Wesson too, but it's not very good as a pocket gun. It's not the light
You got
version.
to cut a hole in your pocket. It's big enough for the barrel to go down.
you just carry it around your chest.
I tell you what, I like Smith and Wesson revolvers. I like Colt revolvers too. I
Hmm.
got a couple of Colt revolvers I really like. I inherited my dad's Colt Frontiersman 22 Magnum, nickel plated. That is a fine piece of machinery. I mean, it's like a fine watch, just all the little intricate parts just put together.
I have. We talking about pocket guns and stuff. I have one of those Sky 9 millimeters,
Uh huh.
and when I first got that thing, I tried to break it, see if I could, and I think I got 2,000 some rounds through it,
Oh, that's
and
5 times the value of the gun to begin with.
I know
Number of the amount of rounds.
no jams, no nothing,
Oh yeah, they're
no
fine.
misfeed. I mean, it shoots great.
I think they sponsor Paul Markle now.
Oh,
Sure
do
they
they?
do. I think I saw a video the other day that Sky Arms was promoting them.
Nice.
We had the Sky representative on here
We
when
have,
she came
absolutely.
on and talked about that.
They
Good
got
deal.
some neat little guns. But
Yeah, I saw they had a whole cabinet full of them the other day. There was a lady in there picking out one while I was down at Sherwood Guns down in Bowling Green the other day. Yeah,
I think
nice
they make
selection.
them. They make them down in Florida, don't they?
Yeah,
Don't they make
Florida,
them like Daytona or something down around Daytona?
somewhere down there. Probably the old Cobra factory. You remember the Cobra down there, down there in Florida, or was it? It was Miami, wasn't it? Cobra is the ones they made into little auto. They're like a Uzi like type pistol, and they made some investment cash guns and stuff. I'm going back lots of years here.
Yeah,
All
they're
right,
made in Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach. Yep.
My daughter actually has my Sky right now. She wanted it to feel better at her house. I'm like, go buy one.
Yeah. 1/3
It's
of
a
a
lot
paycheck.
easier when Daddy has them, and you just
Uh-huh.
pick out what you want.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap this puppy up. It's getting late. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Oh,
Subscribe
it
star
is.
if you if you would like to help our show. We appreciate it very much. You can any of our people that support us, we appreciate you supporting them. And then their subscribe star account is subscribestar.com/god dash and dash guns. If you would like to help us out, I am faltering here. You got the next two, and then Arm System of the Week.
Hey, our next sponsor, PowerTac Lights. If you're looking for a weapons light, flashlight for your pocket, or a light for hunting at night, PowerTac has a light for you. Go check our buddies out at PowerTac.com. Use the promo code God and Guns and get 40% off just for listening to the show. And they have lifetime warranties on them, so you can't go wrong. Hey, also Crossbreed holsters. Hey, I know we've talked about different holsters tonight and this and that, but all seriousness, if you're looking for a holster and you want a comfortable holster that you can wear all day with no problems and even forget you got it on, go check our buddies out at Crossbreed. They have a holster for you for just about any gun that you can think of, and they can hook you up in pretty much any way you want to carry it. So go check them out at crossbreedholsters.com. Use the promo code G&G. Get 10% off for listening to the show. So go check our buddies out. All
Arm
right.
System.
It's easy peasy. I love my crossbreed. All right. Tonight's Armed Citizen comes to us from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A store clerk in Philadelphia, PA, fought for her life when two armed alleged burglarized the store on February 1st, 2022. The 32-year-old clerk was behind the store counter with her manager when two men entered the store from the back door just before 4 a.m. that Tuesday morning. The men then walked behind the counter, both armed, and a struggle ensued between the clerk and one of the burglars. During the struggle, the clerk was shot up to 3 times in the thigh. Despite the serious injuries she sustained, the clerk, who was also armed, managed to pull her pistol and return fire at the assailant. Her shots broke the duo's confidence, and both would-be robbers fled the store. When authorities arrived, they found and transported the stricken clerk to the local hospital in critical condition from her leg wounds. Believed that the clerk managed to land a few hits on the attackers. Police alerted local hospitals to notify them if any suspects arrived with similar wounds. Later that morning, police found a match with a man who was dropped off at Temple University Hospital with severe gunshot wounds. It turned out that the clerk's shot had met their mark. And that comes to us from Fox29.com in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Cool deal. Yeah, I was looking over here at Jim's gun. That's a pretty nice looking pistol.
Isn't it? That's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, right up here. 340 PD. I don't know if you got the PD one. I don't know what the difference is.
Says he's
Police
got the
department.
super light.
It's pretty light, man. 11 ounces or something like that. 11.8 ounces. That's pretty light. You compare that to my
I bet it's
Ruger SP
snappy.
101. It's 25 ounces.
Right.
It's 14 ounces lighter or 13 and change lighter than my Ruger SP 101.
I bet that Joker's quite snappy.
Yeah, probably would be. But you got see how high up it sits on the bore axis though.
Mm-hmm.
See that it sits up high on the bore axis. That's the same way with this Ruger though. It sits up high on the bore axis. I can crank off 5 rounds. It's double action only. This one has too. It's got the Spurler's hammer. I can crank off 5 rounds at double action only. It is not a problem at all. Just
Mm-mm.
light and fast. As long as it's well maintained and oiled and all. I mean, it's just pocket guns. They're pretty much considered like a backup gun. Because they don't have a lot of parts. They're just mechanical guns. They're not. They don't rely upon springs and sliding back and forth, things like that. So, well, you got anything else you want to share? Anyone else out there got anything else? Questions tonight? Night, Steve.
That's it for me. Steve's going to sleep. Both Steves are going to sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep. Not intentionally.
Not intentional.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. Send your feedback to Troy at guideandgunspodcast.com or
Doug at GodGunsPodcast.com.
please tell your friends about us. Like us on Facebook and leave us an iTunes review and like us on, I already said that. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Search for us on Instagram, Wimpkin personal page and a Guide Against page. I have posted some stuff over on Wimpkin. I have posted stuff over on Parler. I'm back on Parler now. They let me back on. We are live on Rumble right now. We'll have videos over on Rumble as well. We're on MeWe. I posted on MeWe the links to the show tonight. And our website is guideandgunspodcast.com. And someday we'll actually get that thing working right. Well, Doug, until next time, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bibles closer. Good night, everybody.
Appreciate y'all being out there. And I'm trying to find where I'm going.